All right, so I'm finally getting around to editing and posting the September update video from 2023. And obviously you can see it's not September, it's around February, I think it's February 19th right now. And I finally got around to editing. And it's pretty funny because I just watched through all the footage in this video that you're about to watch. And I do talk about like work-life balance and not being able to create content as much. And actually I'm proud to say that this year I've been pretty on point with my content. I've been coming out with content every single week and I'm really happy about that. But I wanted to shoot this video from outside so you could see a little bit of what the property looks like with snow on it, because after the snow melts, probably won't get any more this season. So yeah, this is what the property looks like under snow. And in this video, you're gonna see a huge transformation, especially back here, because the ducks were not over there when I shot this video. That whole land you're gonna see get completely fixed up. I mean, it was an absolute mess. You're gonna see it go from a haywire mess to getting fixed up over the course of 2 to 3 days and getting flattened. And actually it's really exciting because now I have plans for what's going in over here. We just finished up our plans for it, and that'll be probably in my next update video, what we're gonna be doing over here with the garden plans. These ducks are just yapping at me. They always like talking to me when they see me. Yeah, so you're gonna hear about, in the next video, you're gonna hear about the garden and what we're planning there. It's gonna be tremendous. This year is gonna be absolutely tremendous. Just wait and see. It was funny looking back to what we were growing last year, and we have way bigger plans for this year. You're gonna hear about the ducks moving. You're gonna hear about problems with the neighbors. You're gonna literally see the fence going in. So that fence went in. You're gonna hear about work-life balance and posting this content, which I'm proud to say that it's been content. The content has been posting consistently now, which I'm very happy about. And you're also gonna hear about one of my hobbies, which is building these tree webs. And actually, I just watched through all the footage. This tree web wasn't even up at that point. So I'm definitely gonna make a more in-depth video in the future about these tree webs too, because it's become just my favorite hobby and pastime, and I'm obsessed with it. So yeah, enjoy the video. There's a lot in this one. It's a long one, but obviously it's way overdue. So it really is about 4 worths of update content packed into one September update video. So check it out and enjoy, and I'll see you in the next one. Boo! Oh, all right. Also, one more thing before I let you watch this video. Everything I say about the greenhouse is pretty much wrong. We're not gonna get a 20 by 40 greenhouse, a big one. We're actually gonna get probably 1 or 2 14-foot by 20-foot greenhouses. And one of the reasons is because of you guys. Thanks for all your comments and helping over these past months, letting me know that it's actually a better idea to get multiple smaller greenhouses rather than one big one. So big thanks to you. All right, you can finally watch this video now. I'm running out to go rock climbing, which has become another one of my little hobbies, getting that work-life balance going on. All right, much love. I'll see you next time. All right, I am well overdue for a property update, so let's get this going right now. Oh man, we got a lot to talk about, and there's been so much stuff going on. Neighbors, new neighbors, old neighbors, problem neighbors, nice new neighbors. I have a new hobby up in the tree right there, but I broke the tree. We'll go talk about that in a second. And I've been having so much trouble getting work done lately. It's that time of year, right? We're in August now. And usually I would feel terrible about that. But I think this is part of my personal journey on balance. All right, so let's start over here with the beds. One bed right here, I just reset. This is where all the lettuces were that didn't really grow that well, but we let them grow all the way out, and then we've been harvesting seeds. So that's kind of cool. We won't have to pay for lettuce seeds next year. So not a total fail, and nothing is really ever a fail, right? We're always just learning. This bed, pulled a bunch of stuff out. There's a bunch of lettuces in there. The zucchinis and squash have been doing pretty good all season. Most of them were getting fruit, and they're doing pretty well. The stems, I noticed, did get, I think there's like these bugs that go into the stem and eat away at the stem and then start traveling through the stem. So I learned that you could actually bury the good stem and it'll start rooting from there and kind of bypass the part where it gets infected. So that's something I'm trying right there. Some little onions in here that are, I don't know, doing okay. The eggplant didn't do anything this year. It didn't even get any fruits. got a little bit of string beans. But I remember, so my last property update, I was talking about a problem I had where stuff would start to grow and then it would just stop. And I thought it was like a watering thing and whatever. The the real reason why this was all happening was 100% nutrients. Like I just wasn't feeding the crops. And each new season, each new year, when it comes to all this outdoor farming stuff, which I'm still learning, there's like a new advancement every year and a new big failure every year. And this year, the success was learning how to do the seedlings. I got the seedlings going really well. We transplanted them, and everything I really grew out here, I grew from seedling, and that was awesome because I hadn't been able to do that successfully in the past. So the seedlings were banging this year. And then the thing that I screwed up on though was nutrients and feeding the plants. I didn't feed them. I didn't really feed them at all. I figured, oh, I mixed compost in and that should be enough nutrients. Well, no, every few weeks you got to feed. And I noticed that right when I started feeding the crops, like they just started producing and started doing way better, especially the tomatoes over there. Like they weren't doing a whole lot. We were getting some tomatoes. And then after I fertilized, boom, just thick groups of tomatoes were forming. They were shiny, looking different, bigger. It was just really cool. So anyways, the thing I learned this year was feeding. So now I'll be feeding a lot better into the future seasons, and I wonder what next year's problem will be that I need to learn something new next year. But it's been awesome, and I really like learning and growing, and this is just the best lifestyle ever, to be able to grow your own food and come out here and pick it and eat it. It's amazing. The kale was shot all season, just holes in it all over, some sort of bugs or whatever, so we didn't really eat any kale. Still got a little zucchini in here. And then these beans, I'm just letting grow really big so I can get the seeds for next year. That's all I'm doing with those beans at this point. Look at this kale though. Thick boy. One got thick. Now the okra have been so cool. Like these were infected all season with a ton of aphids and ants that had like a symbiotic relationship, I learned. Thanks to a lot of you who were commenting on my last videos. And, but still, we've been getting tons of okra, like nonstop. So that's really cool. I wasn't expecting it. And again, probably the nutrients, adding some nutrients helped big time. But it's so cool to see that, like, even if the plants are in turmoil with like pests and stuff, they can still produce plenty of food for us. And these are really cool. Like I really like these okra plants. I really like the way they look, the way they grow. The food tastes great. Like I really like okra a lot. Whoa, tripping over umbrellas. We have 3 now. Everybody's been gifting us umbrellas because we didn't have any. So now we have 3. But yeah, okra is super cool. I'm really pumped about it. And it turned out being okay. I'm glad I didn't like rip them out. Strawberries are doing great. They've been sending out so many runners, and I've just been maintaining them so they don't get too out of control. I harvested a bunch of runners like 2 days ago, and we have them water propagating inside. We're getting a lot of poison ivy all over my body. Hasn't been too terrible though. Here's the other strawberry bed, but you can see it's just beautiful. And from here over are all strawberries that we planted this year. Those strawberries too. So they didn't get fruit, but they did really well. They'll get fruit next year. This bed's still doing well. Alyssa planted a bunch of flowers, so they look really nice. And we want to do a lot more flowers next season. They're really fun and cool. You just throw the seeds everywhere, and then they just pop up, and they're beautiful. I'm getting tons of zucchinis out of this plant. Our herbs look all right. Alyssa's been taking them for food and stuff. We've been making like a lot of frittatas with the duck eggs. We have copious amounts of duck eggs that I got to start offering to my customers because they're just piling up. So this bed's been doing pretty well. This zucchini plant did nothing. None of the flowers were getting germinated, pollinated rather. But then recently I noticed it is starting to get some fruit. So I think maybe the pollinators are finding it. And then these cucumbers have been going crazy. Look at how much I've had to lower them with all their stems on the ground that I've been trimming up. These have grown so much vertically, it's insane. Probably like 30 feet high over the season, and I've just been dropping them down on these strings. And then recently I had to rearrange them because they just got too big and too wonky. And now I'm down to 4 plants. I was at 8, and now I'm down to 4. Because these are the ones that were doing the best. I mean, look at this. So cool. Growing food over here. Shit's practically free. People are working 9 to 5s all day to pay for food that's killing them. You can just grow it. All right, anyways. Try not to rant too hard on shit. Peach tree's looking awesome, especially this one. This kale plant, I've just been letting the bunnies have at it. The peas went a while ago. The bunnies found those pretty early. The blueberries are taking this year. And then this peach tree doesn't look like it's doing nearly as well, but we'll see what happens. Oh, we're propagating a bunch of stuff because I'll show you over there. There's a brand new fence that got put up by the neighbors, the new neighbors, who are actually really nice, and they just had a baby. But the freaking guy ripped out my grandfather's mulberry, which was really like my best producer of this whole season and something that I've been doing the best at pruning at. And it was like literally my best like fruit tree right now. And then they just ripped it out. And we have a video of them doing it too, and it was terrible. And I was pissed, and I went over there and spoke my mind. But anyways, I took the whole tree and I chopped it up, and now we have a bunch of cuttings. So we're gonna try to make a bunch of new mulberry trees from these cuttings. And then these are actually all figs. These are figs right here. So I'm gonna try to make more figs from those cuttings. My one wheel finally is acting up after being left outside for years. So I gotta figure that one out because I love these little one wheels. Used the fireplace a few times this season. We had a big party actually about a month ago, and that went really well. It was really fun. Bunch of family, bunch of friends. Had a fire going until 2 a.m. It was fun. And I'll show you these tomatoes. They're looking all right. See, these were so thin the whole season, and now I gave them some nutrients and they're doing better. But these are the best tasting tomatoes of all of them. They're like, I don't know what they're called, sun gold or something. I didn't have breakfast yet, but I'm gonna have a tomato. Look at that. Don't have joy in your life? Grow your own food. So good, so sweet. Haven't really had any of the big ones yet. A few of the lemon boys they're called, but they weren't looking too good because we weren't fertilizing. And then I don't know if the wind's knocking tomatoes off or if there's a deer doing it, but some tomatoes are falling on the ground. But look at this tree. It's just getting tons of tomatoes now, and they're all like big and shiny, and like look how strong this tree is now as it grows. Now I'm letting them split off of one sucker at the top to try and let them get a little bigger for the end of the season. But yeah, this is awesome. Like, they're really starting to produce now. Here's another one where I let the sucker go. So now we have 2 main branches. I'm gonna take off this sucker. So I know a bit about tomato plants. When I first started getting into the farming, I was working for TheraFarms, and they did a lot of tomatoes, working for Teddy. And he was a great dude, and that helped me get into farming and really solidified my love and passion for it, hands-on. And he did so many tomatoes. He like grows the best tomatoes ever. And so I learned a lot about him that season. Was stringing up a lot of tomatoes that year. So the knowledge passes forward. All right, I want to talk about something so exciting for me. It's like my new hobby. There were these guys who were into like rock climbing and slacklining, and they started making like tree forts out of strings. So like they would tie like a skeleton with their main climbing rope, and then between the climbing rope they would make webbing with paracord, and the whole system is under tension and it's super strong and can like hold you up, and it's basically this huge fort. So I started building one. I started with this little foothold down here so I can get up into the tree. Then this is my second foothold, and like I'm obsessed with this. Like, this is striking a lot of chords for me in a lot of ways, and I'm sure I'll make a video on just this because it's just so exciting. So this is my second foothold. Sturdy. And then this is my first seat that I made, so you can sit in this. Actually, I'll just get up in here. This is kind of hard with the tripod. How do I do this? All right, check this out. Foothold, foothold. See, now I'm up. And part of the reason that I got sparked to film today was because my tree finally broke. So I had way too much tension on the tree and I snapped it. And I'm upset about it, but just like I talked about with the farming stuff, like it's all learning experience. And I've only been doing this for about a week and a half. And the amount of progress I've made and learning that I've made in the past week and a half is tremendous. And that comes with a bunch of mistakes, including breaking this tree. So I'm disappointed about it, but even though this is a chestnut tree, This has already been chopped back once. So the fact that it's even alive from all these secondary branches is amazing. And I have 4 chestnut trees on the property, and this is my least favorite one. So I'm not super like worried or like upset about breaking this branch. It was just a learning experience, and now I kind of know about tweaking tension on branches, and I'll be like so much more aware of this moving forward. But I was building this upper, so I had this upper seat done, and then I was building like the upper nest, and I just cranked too much tension on it from too many times, and I was hearing it snap. Good thing it didn't snap while I was in it. That could have been dangerous. But I'm surprised at how well it has held up even with the snap. This seat is completely like fine. It has been completely unaffected. The second seat is trashed, and I probably shouldn't go up in the high nest, although there are bits of it that I think are probably fine. So I'm gonna try to yank out as much string out of this tree as possible, rope rather, so I could use it again for the next tree. It's not cheap. I'm buying like 1,000-foot rolls of paracord and like 60 meters, 90 meters at a time of climbing rope. So it's not super cheap, but it's also not super expensive, but I'm just very happy to be doing this. It's like really exciting. It's like creative, it's art, but it's also functional, and like it's just like really cool. And now I just want to get into these trees. And this is just like nothing compared to what I saw online on YouTube. There are these guys up, built forts all the way up to the trees. So you have to spend like even a few minutes climbing up first, and then you make it up into these upper level nests. So I'm trying to figure out which trees I can do this on. And I'm also trying to think about my safety. I don't want to get hurt, and you get up high and you know, you could ruin your whole life screwing up. So don't want that to happen, but it is nice to have a little bit of a hobby. I feel like my life was lacking in hobbies a little bit, and I feel like this is helping me to find balance. So over the past years, you know, it's been 7 years of entrepreneurship now, and I remember the first few years I was making myself crazy, just needing to work all the time. It was almost out of necessity, right? Like I needed to make money. The money is pretty good now. Like I feel stable. Microgreens Farm is back up and running really well. 1 tray away challenge is going well, did great this year. You guys have been enjoying the sunflower seeds, so I feel stable in that regard. And I still always feel a little guilty if I'm not working a lot, especially if I'm not making content. But I think it's just part of balance and just figuring out my way. And I think it's okay to take a little bit of a break and then get re-inspired and go back in. And I'm finding that I like working better in sprints. And also when the weather's not so nice, like during the colder seasons, like into the fall and winter last year is really when I built the 1 tray away challenge. So I'll probably build something else big this upcoming fall and winter. But it's just part of balance. And I hope you guys are finding balance too in life. You know, at the end of the day, that's what's most important, finding balance, finding peace, being happy. So that's kind of what our brains are always on a journey trying to find, right? Just more happiness. And I think I'm finding it, but I do feel guilt from not creating more, and I know I need to be creating a lot more content. So I apologize, and I just need to get back to it. All right, so anyways, glad I was inspired today. Glad I'm shooting for you. But like even since, like I hit 100,000 followers or subscribers, I guess, on YouTube recently within the last month, and I still haven't made my little video about that. So like, what the hell, Don? And I even have it filmed, I just need to edit it. So maybe I'll do that today. Gotta just get to it. I'm such a lazy ass lately. But again, it's like that personal balance thing. Everything is energy, right? It's all energy exchange, and you only have so much energy and attention. Got these new duckos. Duckos have been going good. Got the roof on, so now we don't have to lock them up in their, I made their little coop out of like a garbage can holder. And it worked pretty well, but it was a little small and I don't think they liked it all that much. But now we just leave one door open, and they made 2 nests in there, and that's where they've been laying their eggs. So that's actually what I wanted. That's kind of was my intention. And now they've been laying a lot of eggs in there. And we even missed a bunch. We came out this morning and it looked like there was nothing in the nest because I guess they had covered their eggs a little bit with some more straw. And I dig underneath because I thought I saw an egg, and I found 13 eggs in there that we had missed over the past few days. So that's pretty funny. but they're so nice. I love hearing their little noises, and they're such nice little girls. But now we have way too many eggs. I gotta start getting rid of them. And we have one duck in there, actually. Where is she? She's over by the watering thing, over by the, I can't even see where I'm at. I think over here, yeah, this one right there. Or maybe this one. Anyways, one of the ducks, she has a hurt foot. It's called bumblefoot, where they get like a little scrape and then they get an infection. So we ordered duck boots, and we gotta like take care of her and try to help her heal her wound. But they've been going really well, and we like having the ducks. They quack so loud in the morning when they're hungry. All the blackberries did so good this season, so we got to transplant a few new ones into here, because those ones didn't end up making it from the first time when we first planted. But then we have like these 5 blackberries that just went ham. We had so many blackberries. They're pretty much finished now. What's the date? I think it's like August 22nd. And but they're pretty much finished up. There's a few more little red guys, but you know, I don't even know why these aren't ripening. There's really nothing else on these bushes. But they were so good, so delicious. And like that was only last year's canes. Next year's canes that came up this year, this is what's going to be producing next year, the fruit. These are so much thicker. So next year we're in for quite the treat. And I've been pruning them to get them more branchy, and I think that'll help get more fruit as well. So very exciting. Love my blackberries. And I've decided on my left arm, I have no tattoos. And what I'm gonna do, it's called an arm garden. I'm gonna start putting just like a bunch of plants on my arm. And what I'm gonna do is any plants, any like fruit, vegetables that I learn how to grow and grow really well and feel like just super confident and like, yeah, like I've got this down, like I love this plant, like I can grow these, I'm eating them, all that stuff. When I feel like super good about it, I'm gonna get a tattoo of it on my arm. So the first tattoo that's going on my left arm is gonna be blackberries. I'm gonna get one blackberry and then just like a leaf coming out of it, probably go on my left wrist. So that's what I've decided. And Alyssa's gonna be doing it too. So we're gonna have all matching, like matching plants, like matching fruits and vegetables. But I think she's gonna get them in different spots, like different placement. And check this out. You probably won't be able to see it very well, but up in this tree is a whole bunch of pears. And like, this pear tree hasn't really produced in years, but then, I don't know, I just did some trimming and maybe a little bit of my good luck. Oh my God, look at this bee, it's drunk. It's like totally like woozy, like passed out. You high on sugar, bro? You chilling? Are you good? See ya. But he's been eating this pear. But honestly, like, that's a pear, bro. Like, we have a pear tree and it's massive. So my plan, like the pears are actually good. Like, this is insane. The plan with this one is over the course of about 2 to 3 seasons, I'm gonna keep on topping it a little bit each year. I don't wanna do it all at once because I think that'll be too shocking to the tree. But over the course of a few seasons, I'm gonna keep topping it. That'll bring the energy lower so I can get to the fruit at the right time and before animals and stuff do, and the birds and whatnot, and just making it easier for harvest. But bringing that energy lower, and then I'm letting some of these lower branches stay, and these will be like the new fruit producing branches of the future. So that's my plan with this tree. Start bringing the energy down and getting it producing even more. So that's pretty exciting. Now this tree right here, this was, I thought it was what do I think this was? A grape plum, like really small plums. But then I realized that you're really supposed to take off a lot of the fruit so that way more of the tree's energy can go into the main fruit and make them bigger. So I think this is just a normal plum tree, which is fantastic. And I did some heavy, look, you can see all this poop. That's deer. That's from deer. They've been all up in here, and I can't wait to get the fence up. Maybe I'll talk about that at the end, but this whole thing is gonna be fenced in now. We have our official plan. But this plum tree, I did some heavy pruning. Like this main branch right here boom, pruned it. And then these two big ones up here, chop, chop. And then all this is all new growth, and it's already thick as hell. And it didn't get fruit this year, but next year I bet it'll get fruit. And we're just gonna keep on managing it and keep on cutting it, pruning it, keeping the energy low. And yeah, so that's pretty exciting. We're gonna have a pear and a plum. Already got the blackberries going. And this is the new neighbor's yard right here. So he literally just put up this fence, just planted all these trees. He put in these bushes for us on this side because he took them out of his property. So that was super nice and awesome. And we like them, they seem really nice. And look, plants down the whole way. And now we have a fence between us. And they even chopped down some of these trees for us that we needed to remove. This was just like a big old dead tree that had fallen. Another tree over there we had them take down that was all covered in ivy and going bad. So this whole area is gonna get cleared. I actually have my boy John Marcinka of Green Island Landscaping. He's coming tomorrow. I've been trying to get him over here for a few months now. He's just been very busy. But he's finally getting over here tomorrow, and he's gonna be able to clean up all this mess, including the whole messy garden area over there. So this is all gonna get reset tomorrow, and it's gonna be amazing because then we could finally like see what it's gonna be and start progressing from there. I don't know if I wanna walk too far into here with bare feet. Actually, maybe it's fine. But they leveled a bunch too, like, let me show you. I really hope I don't step on glass or something. So we have hydrangeas, we have rhododendrons. I don't know what these are. I think I knew a few days ago. And then more hydrangeas down here. And Alyssa wanted hydrangeas for a while. Now we finally have them for free. It's amazing. But he brought in all this topsoil and like started leveling the land a little bit. My dad's unhappy because he was thinking about like the watershed over here. Because now we don't really have as good of drainage. And that's definitely a valid concern, but we'll just have to see how it goes over time. And then we're thinking that this area right here where I'm standing is where the swing set will go for future kids. And this is where they ripped out the mulberry tree, which they didn't have to because it's at the same level. Like they're done over here and like they didn't need to pull that out. There's no reason to do that, but whatever. Hopefully it'll lead to a bunch more mulberry trees. Did I say mulberry before? I meant mulberry. Hopefully it'll lead to a bunch more mulberry trees from the cuttings and that'll be that, whatever. We have another mulberry up all the way in the front anyway. And I transplanted one over here and it looks like it lost all of its leaves, but now it's taking, so that's good. Ooh, we have figs. Oh, more deer crap over here. But look, figs are going. Quite a few branches have figs actually. So that's excited. We'll probably get some figs this season unless they don't ripen in time, which is definitely a possibility. I've seen that happen a few times. But anyways, it's awesome. They've done some leveling in here and now it's all just gonna get reset. Now in that tarp is my old hydroponic system that I bought from Teddy, that farmer I mentioned earlier. Still haven't got to use it after I bought it like 3 years ago. But now we finally have the property and this is where the greenhouse is gonna go. So basically, these two skinny trees are also gonna get chopped down and that's kind of where the greenhouse is gonna start. I wanna get a 20 by 40 Gothic hoop house. That's gonna be all in that garden area and it'll be within a food forest. So the food forest area is gonna be, there's gonna be a fence that goes from here to their fence. And then their fence will be one side of the food forest, so I have to animal proof it with hardware cloth. And then the fence is gonna go all the way down to those wood chips over there. You see those wood chips? It's gonna come all the way down. Actually, I'll just walk over and show you. This is really exciting. We didn't know how we were gonna do it, and then I had an epiphany one day that we could do it in just one big L shape and make it really easy to get this fence in. So this is the garden area. I've been doing my composting in there for the microgreen stuff. And the fence is just gonna come along the line. It's gonna come into here. And then right here, we're gonna have 2 4-foot gates. So like basically achieving an 8-foot wide gap to get machinery in here if we need to. And then the opening to the greenhouse will be in there. Might be hard to see on the camera, but whatever. Maybe I'll pull up like a little graph or something. I've been making little drawings in Keynote and stuff. So maybe I'll put that over the screen at this point. But then from this corner down, right? Because down this food forest area that we started prepping, it'll go down, wrap around the food forest, and then go along the driveway. And then it's gonna go all the way around, all the way back to the back of the property over there near the near the plum tree where we were at before. Now, one thing that's amazing about what happened recently is that we finally had to get a surveyor in here who got the actual property lines. So there's been an argument between my grandparents and my old neighbors for years about the property lines, and now we finally had an official surveyor come in, and it looks like my grandfather was right. These people behind us are real nasty people, not gonna lie. They've caused a lot of problems for us already, and they're real nasty. So we have a property line down there, way more property than I thought. And it goes down to here. Check this out. They called the town on our ducks, and we're still going through a bunch of stuff with that. And then they called the town again, saying that we were building a greenhouse in that area, which, like, we're not, because I brought some stuff over there, some old scrap wood and some hydroponic channels. Like, I guess we're building a greenhouse. And they called the town and they put a stop work order, even though we're not building anything. So it's really awful, causing a lot of problems for us. But look at this. See that little nail with the orange right here? That's in the dead center of their driveway, and that's our property line. So they've been driving over our property all this time. And once we get this thing settled with the ducks and figured out, I can't wait to drop a fence post right here in the center of their driveway and start building my fence on the property line. So, just terrible vibes. It sucks to be in a situation like this. You just want good people around you and everybody just leaving each other alone so everybody can progress and whatever, but you get some nasty people sometimes, and they're a huge pain in my ass already, but whatever. We'll be able to work around it. And actually, hoop houses technically are exempt from any sort of permitting. I don't need a permit for a hoop house according to the Huntington law, and that's exactly what I'm getting, a hoop house. So I'm gonna put it right here. And what I also wanna do is put a flagpole up and hang a flag that's a picture of a duck, and then underneath the duck it says you, so it's like duck you, get it? But realistically, that probably won't happen because that's a little aggressive. Oh, these cucumbers have been going really good too. These are the dragon's egg cucumbers. That's been probably our most productive plants all season. They've been going crazy. But anyways, I don't know. That's kind of it for the property update. Nice hydrangeas over here. And we got a soaker hose that we ran all the way down, but there's a actual hole in it over here. So I got to either fix that or return it and get a new one. And then I think they're planning on continuing the fence pretty much all the way down to the road, which would again be awesome, because then we know exactly where the line is and exactly what we can do. But in here near the magnolia tree, it used to look so much different. It was just kind of like open and went in there. And now obviously they've been filling in and whatnot. So I think this might be my next victim. Well, not victim, I shouldn't say that. I don't want to damage this tree. But I might try to get some strings up in this tree. Because once I get up a little bit, see that bigger tree behind and how it splits up here? Once I get up in that magnolia a little bit, I could probably build a bridge over to that tree and then start building upwards that way. But I gotta really get in there and analyze it. I gotta see if how plausible this plan is. I guess we really are heading into fall. It's getting to the end of the summer with all these leaves. The leaves are starting to fall. So, August 22nd, baby. It's actually so beautiful out today. It's like a little chilly. I'm finally wearing a sweatshirt outside. I think it's around like 9:30 a.m. But I'll show you over here. This is where the property line comes up. He'll probably end his fence right over there, which would be perfect because these look pretty. And then this is the alder mulberry tree, which actually, what is this? This is a vine. Yank it. My mulberry tree. So yeah, this is my other mulberry and it produced pretty well. Not as good as my other, and it's closer to the road and everything, but whatever. You can probably hear the cars now at this point. Got the property line up here. It's our beautiful mimosa. I trimmed this up a little bit a few months ago. Maybe like a month and a half. And then here's another potential spot to do more strings, because these are real nice thick trees. So these will not break. So I was planning on going tree 1, tree 2, tree 3 for a full triangle. So you wrap your climbing rope around those 3 and then you just web it all through. And then you can leave a hole in the middle to hoist yourself up and into that first level. And then once you have that first level to stand on, you can start building the second level, and you literally are like, it's like freaking Minecraft in real life. I don't know if you guys play Minecraft, but like, oh my gosh. It's like so exciting. I'm out here like growing my own food and building tree forts out of string. Like, I'm just living my life happily right now. Oh. So, got some wood to move. Oh yeah, and we used to have housemates. Well, really technically just one, Mallory. Chad was over here a lot, but she's not living with us anymore either. We gave her 5 months to move out, but she found a spot in Huntington right near her biz. So she was out of here in like a week actually. Anyways, so it's just back to me and Alyssa again, and it feels really good. We love just being alone, just me and her. And it's funny, like once you, like there's only so much capacity for like energy, right? And I find in life, when something leaves your life, whether it's good or bad or whatever, neutral, any of it, whenever something leaves your life, it makes room for new stuff to come in. And I found that like literally right after Mallory left, that's like when all this string stuff came in and like some other creative stuff. So I don't know, it's interesting how the universe works. But I wish Mallory the best. I love Mallory. I already miss living with her. She was a good housemate and a good friend. But anyways, yeah, I think that's about it. What else do I have to talk about? I'm hoping to get back to making more content, but I've been saying that for months. I'm such an ass. But Alyssa's now back with me full time. Her other job is no longer. We stopped working for that company. I was out of there a few months before her. That took a turn for the worst. I'm not going to say too much about that or what company it was, but didn't end up working out. So now she's back full time with me, and we're getting back into the groove of just living me and her. So we're like organizing the house. The bedroom is now a guest bedroom, and I'm sure once things are back in order and the weather cools off a little bit, we'll start getting really back into working hard and getting stuff done again, more content. And I want to create a full-on Microgreens business course. It's been way too long. I should have created this years ago. But actually, now I just have more experience, so whatever I create, I'm sure will be special and really freaking helpful. So I'm excited for that. But anyways, just making progress here on the property, making progress in life. And yeah, ooh, our nephew started walking. That was really exciting. We were waiting for so long. And then finally he started walking like literally a week ago. So that was really cool to see. Little Colty, little cutie man. So Colton's walking. I don't know, not much else to share. I'm sure I'll do some more filming once John gets in here and cleans up back there, because after that's cleaned up tomorrow, it's gonna look completely different. So maybe I'll even do some shooting tomorrow or the next day and add that into this video. Maybe I'll make a whole nother video, we'll see. Anyways, that's all for now for today. Love you guys, thanks for watching. And yeah, I'll talk to you soon. I might as well show you the farm. The current status of the farm. Looks probably similar to last time, but maybe slightly different. I'm sure I'll have a little something to talk about. Here we go. Ooh, dark. So that's one thing I did. Even though it's daytime, I have my lights on during the night now instead of during the day, because it was hot. The hottest point of the day was in the middle of the day, and I didn't want my lights on generating extra heat during that time of day. So I started running my lights at night to try and bring up the nighttime temperature and bring down the daytime temperature, and it actually worked like a charm. My HVAC is pretty dialed in right now. The temperature has been between like 69 and 71, and I'm very happy about that. Although somehow it got up to 76. What the hell happened there? That's what it's saying on this. I gotta check my online tracking device and see what happened and when it happened. Hopefully this is still blowing cool air. But yeah, looks pretty similar. I have 2 rows of sunflower going, which is a little different than I normally do. Usually I just have 1 bottom row. Been rocking out with the 2 lights on the peas. That's been going really well. And now I started doing 2 lights for the cilantro, and that made a huge difference. The cilantro looks off the chain, and instead of it getting all weird on the edges and falling in, it stays fine. So that actually solved that problem, which was my goal. And the other benefit of using these 2 lights is it actually reduced my grow time on my cilantro by half a week. So that's another benefit. They're growing a little bit faster now too, and just like a little bit better. So that's awesome. The cilantro's been doing good. It's been nice working with a chef. And I'm probably going to start reaching out to that whole group soon, try to get them to buy more stuff. And then my basil guy, who I was buying basil from, I don't know if I mentioned it out here on YouTube, but I had a friend out east who's growing basil. So I'd pick up basil from him and then sell it by the time the root is over. And that's kind of cool, kind of a cool idea, cool collaboration. And it's been going really well with him. And he grows microgreens, but I think mine are definitely higher quality. And he just wants the room to grow more basil. He's really more of a basil farmer than a microgreens farmer. So we've been collaborating, and he just placed a huge order with me, a huge weekly order. So now I'm doing most of his microgreens now, which is really cool. So that's part of the reason why the business is growing. So you could see 2 full racks here, basically a 3rd full rack there, and then between this one and that one, a 4th one. So we're rocking out with like 4 racks now. So we're getting close to, we're probably around two grand a month, which is awesome. And that's, you know, once you start getting into that 4 rack time and you start getting into the 2K a month range, that's when your business is at 6 figures. Because $2,000 a month times 54 weeks gets you over $100,000. So that's pretty cool. We're back in action, back at a good level for the microgreens business. And we're going to start growing a little bit more. But one of the problems that we're having down here right now is the dehumidifier. My main dehumidifier, my Quest machine, is not working properly. Something's wrong with it, so I'm trying to troubleshoot that right now. And once that's fixed and working properly and the humidity drops back down again, then I can start growing, you know, expanding the business a little bit more. And this is kind of how I've grown over the years. Like, really what you want to do is like go on a sprint where you go and get a bunch of new clients and then hold on for a second, make sure that you can handle the grow, make sure that you and your employees are cool with all the labor going on, the additional labor. And then also when you add more crops into your grow space, it's going to start changing things in terms of climate. So one of the main things that happens, you get more crops growing, it's going to increase the humidity in the space, which could be problematic. And that's something that I've realized. I've been rocking out with like mid-70s humidity, and that's not ideal. You really want it around 40. Now, because I've been growing for a while and I'm pretty decent at this point, I've been able to manage just fine, and my crops are beautiful. But I definitely want to get that humidity back down before I start adding in a lot more clients, because already I have the business increasing, and this dehumidifier situation is not solved yet. So that's my next thing. I got to get this dehumidifier fixed, and then I'll start expanding again. So it's good. Everything's been going well. It's exciting. And yeah, it's funny, like even though I make plenty of money online now, like I just can't shut down the microgreens business because it's just such a good business model. Like we're only working hard 1 or 2 days during the week. I have plenty of help, so it doesn't feel like a big burden on me. It doesn't feel like a big burden on my help either, because it's all spread out. And we're making good money, like I just said, about 2K a month already. And we've only been open half a year. Oh, check this out. This is something I wish I had started doing a while ago. But all of the harvests that we do, I write it on a little note, and now we put them on the wall so we can see visually like all the harvests that we've done. I think that's really cool. So I'm very thankful that I started doing that right away once we opened up this farm, because that was something I wanted to do in my old farm and I just didn't do it. So now I've been doing that. But yeah, like I was saying, this business is just so good. Like still after, it surprises me that like still after 7 years, I just love this business so much, and the business model is just still so good. It's good. I feel so good. Like that decision I made 7 years ago to quit my job and dive in full on into the microgreens world and starting my microgreens business, like it really was the best decision I made in my whole life so far. So very thankful. I'm very thankful for where I'm at. But anyways, let's get back to the farm tour. I hope you enjoyed seeing the little Microgreens farm, and I'm sure in a few months there'll be even more crops growing in here. But much love, back to the main tour. All right, we've made some progress in the back, and we've also made some progress over here. Not sure if we did this yet when I was last filming, but completely reset this bed, and we reset over there. Just pulled some stuff out, getting ready for the next crops, putting in some fall crops. So let's take a little walk over to the back. My boy John was here last week, and he got a bunch done, but we thought we were going to be able to get it all done in one day, but that wasn't the case because there was just so much stuff underneath all of the vines and the brush that we didn't really realize. We pulled 35 yards out of here. So their trucks were in and out of the driveway. They filled them multiple times and all that, so it took a little longer than expected. But here it is. Tons of progress has been made. So we're just in the process of ripping out and keeping it continuing. So they were able to get here last week on Thursday. Now it's this week on Monday, just a few days later, and they're coming today. They should be here very soon, and we should be able to bang the rest of this out in one day. All these little stakes that are in the ground, those will come out. That fence that you see along the back, that'll be ripped out. All of this brush, this little gate, everything should be ripped out and just reset. These old bushes that were there, hopefully they can get the roots out and all that. And then just like more brush and debris over here to take out. There is, I'd love for them to get around this tree if they have time. Hello, duckos. And then also do around the shed and back into here. And then they also definitely will be taking all this brush today that we missed last week. And there's another brush pile up near the driveway over there. But we're making progress. Tons of work was done last week. Tons of stuff got hauled out. And now the rest of this will go today. It'll be great. Check this out. I forgot if I showed this on the last video, but the property line is smack in the middle of their driveway. Can't wait to put a fence right here. But this little orange piece right here is the property line, and that's literally in the center of the driveway. So they've been driving over our yard all this time and giving us a problem about our ducks. Anyways, can't wait to drop a fence post right in the center of their driveway, and they'll have to reroute a little bit. This is what happens when you cause problems. Karma comes back to you. My karma's pretty good, so it's just gonna bounce right back to you. All right, anyways, they chopped out the back of the fig tree a little bit. That's all right, not too bad. And we lost one apple tree. Our Honeycrisp apple is no longer. So that's all right, it's bound to happen. We acted pretty quick getting stuff in the ground, so maybe a little too quick. Still got lots of work to do outside, but actually what they're doing today will be a huge step. And then once that's done, we should be able to really start making moves over there. Anyways, that's all for now. I will update after the work is done today. I am so pumped right now. I'm in a sweatshirt and sweatpants right now, my favorite. That means fall is here, summer's coming to a close, and it feels so good, making amazing progress in the backyard. And I could finally finish this video, because check it out. Fence going up. No more neighbors. Evil neighbors. But check it out. So this is also going to be the perimeter of the food forest. We got it going down over here. Obviously we started wood chipping already to try and be building the foundation, the forest floor. Tomatoes, crushing it, kinda. Still learning out here. But we got this fence going around the whole area. We got the duckos over here, although we're moving them. And then the fence goes all the way back. So it's just so amazing. Sorry if it's a little windy. I should have put the little thing on there. but I guess this hurricane is making a lot of wind over here, and I guess there's big waves at the beach too, so that's kind of cool. Say hi to the duckos. Hello, duckies. So we got the ducks, and we finished all the work over here too, so this is leveled now. This looks amazing. So we're gonna be moving the ducks from over here to over there, all the way in the back, like back there is gonna be where the ducks are gonna go. And then in front of the ducks, this way, I can't get the angle, hold on, this way, right here, is gonna be the greenhouse. A 20 by 40 Gothic greenhouse is, I believe, what I'm gonna be snagging. And then we have all this space over here now, and we like know where the boundary is. It's such a big deal knowing where a boundary is. So down this whole strip is gonna be, I think the best use of this strip is orchard, and it's also the furthest from the house, furthest into the food forest. So this is gonna be orchard over here. We already have this pear tree that is producing. I literally ate some pears this year, which is incredible. And then that's a plum tree. So we're just gonna continue this whole area being orchard. Then up there near the stump, I'll just walk over. You know, as things change, you have to work around the little changes. So what we thought originally would be one plan changes, and then it just keeps on changing. So right now, the plan for over here is to build a water feature and to have some sort of like water flowing down like some rocks. And then down here, whether it's in where they dug or a little bit further this way, I'm not 100% sure yet. And then right here have a pond for the ducks, because then the duck coop is gonna be right there in front of that big fig tree. It'll open up this way, the door will be there, and they can just walk up their little hill into the pond. And then that'll be like a real, a real pond for them rather than just a kiddie pool that we have to dump every morning. So it's a pain in the butt for us. It gets dirty really fast. It's not super clean. And then just having a pond, it'll stay clean. You'll be able to attract different types of wildlife, and we won't have to be dumping it every day. So really cool, really fun idea to have a pond over here. And eventually over time, we might even get to use that pond to, I don't know, even hold even more water, catch rain and everything. I'm sure we could expand it over time and have maybe even like an upper level pond going down into a lower level. But in the beginning, we're just gonna have a little water feature going down into a whatever size pond, just a normal little pond for the duckos. One of our apple trees had to get sacrificed to get all this work done. You can see right there. It's pretty shot, but hopefully the roots got in there nicely, and maybe the next shoot coming off of this, coming off of the base of this plant, maybe that will be the beginning to a beautiful new tree. But this one's not looking that great either. It should be covered with leaves, and so should my elderberry, but the deer just demolish it, which is another great reason why this fence is going up. So this is gonna be the perimeter, obviously, of the food forest. It goes that corner to my neighbors. Those are the good neighbors. Those are the bad neighbors. Then all the way around. And then this will be our food forest, because there's gonna be a fence that goes near where that fig tree is, down the other side of that dirt. So that'll be a fence, and then nothing will be able to get in. It'll be all animal proofed and all that. So very nice. We got our row of blackberries over here that have done pretty well. Gonna have a little bit more space over here along this strip. And then the greenhouse. Got our shed. We'll probably have to fix that up. And the neighbors are outside. Oh boy, we'll see what happens, see if they come over. But anyways, now we have a boundary behind our shed, and we can see exactly where the property stops. So it's very nice. And this is a cozy little back end area. Got our duckos, although they're being moved. And then I want to start putting some strings in these trees and making a new tree web. But yeah, it's just going all the way down the side of the food forest. And then of course there's going to be another fence that'll block it all off and make like an L shape. So very exciting. It's been leveled and we're making tons of progress. The neighbors are finally disappearing from our site. But they've been a problem throughout the whole process. And maybe when this is all over, I'll be able to make a video about that. But for now, we're getting as little details as possible. Let me hop on a one wheel and just take you guys on a little run around the property. That way you could see the whole thing. I guess I can't switch this camera around, so I'll just restart this video. What you want, girl? What you say? You talking shit? Yes. Yes. All right, here we go. Got the tunes. Always need them. So this is where you come into the backyard, and the fence is going to go all the way. So eventually we're going to put a fence right here, but for now it's just going to end over there and kind of be ready to be lined up. But of course I have my toters out here for the microgreens business, which is in that garage. Got the whole front yard over here. Got cleaned up recently. Hey, come on. This got, why is that not focusing? Weird. So I cut down this tree, and we have, you know, some spaces to clean up over time. But very busy road. I want to put some bamboo in or something. Would be awesome, like a bamboo strip down the way. Would be epic, but I got to make sure it's contained. I've been dumping my yard waste over here now, so I'll probably have it removed, and that way it's close to the road. So this new fence went in for our other neighbors, went down to the road, so that's all new. Been clearing out in here a bit, probably do some beehives in here. We've had beehives in here before a few years ago, and hopefully we'll have some more in here soon. But nice little open space. Little front yard, we'll have to fence this off too. But neighbor's fence got put in and it changed quite a bit over here. We like it though. But this all got backfilled and reset. So big change, very different back here. And then it goes into this area. So we have our back little area near the pool. And then we have a little divider. We'll do some wildflowers in here. And then of course, we have our food forest area, which will eventually get fenced off right here. But it's looking good. The fence will run down here and around this ladder. Big gate right here. And then it'll shoot down this way. So, very nice. You pumped? Oh yeah, she's pumped. It looks really good. Yeah, it does. All right. Sure. All right, baby, you pumped?
Yeah, super pumped.
It's gonna be nice and private, right?
Yeah, it's great.
Yep, we know where all the boundaries are.
It looks beautiful.
Yeah.
Can't wait to fill it with food.
Yeah, we're gonna fill it with food. And yeah, it looks really nice. They did a good job. So, and a dog. Yes, and a dog. So, and Christine.
And Colty. Well, now
and
Colty
Colty
can run around unsupervised. Just kidding.
All right, that's it for the farm update. I'll see you guys soon. All right, the trippiest thing about this whole video was right here at the end where Christine is joking around about getting a dog. Funny enough, we would actually be getting a dog and adopting one 5 months later, which at the time it is right now that I'm editing this video and filming this, it would be tomorrow that we're adopting the dog, which is February 19th, which is also the day that this video would post to YouTube. The universe works in weird ways, especially when you're syncing up with it. All right, my friends, that's all for this video. I hope you enjoyed this update. It was definitely a long one. We had a lot going on. So stay tuned for more Microgreens videos and more property update videos as we move on into the future. Much love, everybody. Peace out.